Have you ever met someone who seems to glide through life effortlessly, always keeping their composure and maintaining harmony in every situation? That's a Libra. Known for their charm, diplomacy, and deep sense of fairness, Libras are the ones you turn to for balance in your life. But here's the thing, while they're graceful on the surface, they also have a core that deeply feels pain and injustice when it arises. In this video, we'll uncover 12 reasons why you should never hurt a Libra. From their need for balance to their empathy, Libras are incredibly sensitive to how they're treated. When you cross them, it's not just about hurting their feelings, it's about shaking the very foundation of who they are. Let's dive into why Libras demand respect and why hurting them can have consequences that might not be easy to undo. 1. They value balance above all. Libras are ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty, and their entire being gravitates toward creating and maintaining balance. Whether in their personal lives, work, or relationships, they thrive on equilibrium. They don't just seek peace, they crave it. Balance is the very essence of their personality, and they constantly strive to make sure everything around them is harmonious. When a Libra feels hurt, the disruption to that balance is like an earthquake within their world. They don't just take offense to personal slights, they take it as an attack on the peaceful equilibrium they've worked so hard to cultivate. When you hurt a Libra, you're throwing their inner balance off kilter, and that's something that deeply unsettles them. They might not lash out immediately, but the damage to their sense of peace will ripple through them, affecting everything they do. For a Libra, peace isn't just a goal, it's a necessity. Disturbing that peace comes with serious emotional consequences. 2. They are highly sensitive to injustice. Libras are governed by the scales, the symbol of fairness and justice, and they have an innate sensitivity to anything that feels unjust. Whether it's a small lie, a betrayal of trust, or even witnessing an unfair situation, a Libra cannot stand the feeling of imbalance when it comes to fairness. They are champions of justice, often going out of their way to make sure that everyone gets their due. This strong sense of fairness makes them incredibly empathetic to the pain of others, but it also means they take personal injustices to heart. If you hurt a Libra, especially in a way they perceive as unfair, expect them to feel deeply affected. They will not simply brush it off like some might, instead, they will grapple with the injustice emotionally, trying to make sense of why it happened. They might even replay the situation over and over in their mind, analyzing every detail, trying to understand how something so unfair could have occurred. For a Libra, injustice isn't just about what's wrong with a situation, it's an emotional wound that cuts deep. When you hurt them, it's not just about what happened, it's about the way you've altered their sense of fairness, and that's something they can't easily shake off. 3. They are natural peacemakers. Libras are the diplomats of the Zodiac, naturally skilled in bringing people together and creating peace in any situation. They are great listeners, always trying to understand both sides of an argument before making their own judgment. This gift of mediation is what makes them so well liked. People trust a Libra to find common ground and smooth over disagreements with grace. However, when a Libra is hurt, their peacemaking nature shifts inwards. They will often try to keep the peace within themselves, even if it means sacrificing their own emotional needs. They might retreat to process the situation, keeping their true feelings to themselves because they don't want to disrupt the harmony they so deeply value. If you hurt a Libra, their first instinct will be to try and mend the situation, but if the hurt is too deep, they may withdraw entirely. A Libra may not always express their pain directly, but their desire to keep the peace within themselves means they will avoid conflict at all costs, even if that means emotionally shutting down. 4. They need social harmony. Libras are social beings who thrive on creating and maintaining harmony in their relationships and environments. Their need for social equilibrium is a key part of their personality. Whether it's at a party, a work meeting, or even within their family, Libras want everyone to feel comfortable and valued. They are highly attuned to the dynamics around them and often find themselves smoothing over conflicts before they escalate. Their ability to read a room and adjust their behavior to maintain peace makes them incredibly adept at navigating social situations. However, when a Libra is hurt, their need for harmony becomes more complicated. They will feel the emotional discord deeply, often becoming unsettled and anxious about the disruption. If they are unable to restore balance or resolve the issue, they may begin to pull away from the situation entirely. They don't handle negativity or unresolved conflict well, and if you hurt them, you'll see a shift in their behavior. They might start avoiding the very people or situations that once brought them joy because the emotional tension is too much to bear. For a Libra, social harmony isn't just a preference, it's a vital part of their emotional well-being. Disrupting it can lead to them distancing themselves, both physically and emotionally. 5. They are extremely empathetic. Libras possess a rare level of empathy that allows them to deeply understand the feelings and emotions of others. This trait makes them great friends, confidants, and partners. Their ability to put themselves in someone else's shoes means that they often go out of their way to make sure others feel heard, understood, and valued. It's this empathy that makes them so approachable and beloved by many, as they easily connect with people on an emotional level. However, this empathetic nature can also make Libras incredibly vulnerable. When they are hurt, they often feel the emotional weight of the situation more intensely than others might. Not only will they process their own pain, but they may also take on the emotions of those involved, feeling the conflict deeply and personally. If you've hurt a Libra, you're not only dealing with their own emotions but also the ripple effect that their empathy has on them. They may carry your pain as well as their own, and this emotional burden can lead to them feeling overwhelmed. It's important to recognize that when you hurt a Libra, the impact is felt deeply, not just by them, but by the empathic way they process the world. 6. They don't handle conflict well. Libras are known for their diplomacy and grace, but when it comes to conflict, they struggle. Their desire to maintain peace at all costs means that they often avoid confrontation, sometimes even at their own emotional expense. When a Libra is confronted with a conflict, whether it's an argument with a loved one or a disagreement at work, their instinct is to find a compromise and avoid escalation. They may do everything in their power to resolve the issue without making waves, even if it means suppressing their own feelings. This tendency to shy away from conflict can be problematic if they feel hurt. When a Libra is emotionally wounded, instead of confronting the issue directly, they might internalize it. They'll avoid confronting the person who hurt them or may become passive-aggressive, hoping the issue will simply resolve itself. The inability to address their hurt head-on means that any unresolved feelings will continue to build, leaving them feeling emotionally drained. If you've hurt a Libra, they might not express their anger or sadness right away, but the lack of resolution can weigh on them, affecting the relationship in ways that are hard to see at first. 7. They can become indecisive when hurt. Libras are known for their ability to make decisions and weigh pros and cons with precision, but when they are hurt, this skill can falter. Their deep desire for balance and fairness can cause them to become indecisive in emotionally charged situations. They may struggle with making the right decision, torn between wanting to heal the situation and protecting themselves from further harm. Their tendency to consider multiple perspectives often leaves them questioning whether they should forgive, move on, or confront the issue head-on. If you've hurt a Libra, their indecisiveness can create a sense of emotional stagnation. They might vacillate between different options, trying to weigh their feelings against what they believe is right or fair. This indecision can leave them feeling stuck, unable to move forward until they can clearly understand their emotions. Their internal debate can prevent them from resolving the situation in a timely manner, leaving both parties in limbo. While they are processing the hurt, their ability to make decisions might feel clouded, which can be frustrating for both them and the people around them. 8. They will withdraw emotionally. When a Libra is hurt, they often respond by withdrawing emotionally. It's not that they want to cut ties or make things worse, it's simply their way of protecting themselves. Their emotional withdrawal is a defense mechanism, allowing them to process their pain without further disruption. Libras value their peace of mind, and when they feel hurt, they need time to regain their emotional equilibrium. This emotional withdrawal can be subtle. Libras may become distant, less engaged in conversations, or less responsive to others. This retreat can leave you feeling confused or even abandoned. Libras may not express their hurt directly, so their emotional distance can seem like a sudden shift. However, this space is essential for them to heal and regain clarity about the situation. If you hurt a Libra, don't be surprised if they start pulling away. They won't be quick to reveal their feelings or confront you, but they will need time to process everything internally. Their need for emotional distance is a sign that they need to reset their emotional state before deciding how to move forward. If you respect their space, you may eventually see them return to the relationship with a fresh perspective, but it's important to understand that the hurt they've experienced will linger for a while. 9. They need balance in relationships. For a Libra, balance is not just a preference, it's a fundamental need. They require harmony in all of their relationships, whether it's with family, friends, or romantic partners. Libras value equality, fairness, and mutual respect. If a Libra feels that the relationship is one-sided, with one person giving more than the other, it can lead to feelings of discomfort and dissatisfaction. They thrive in relationships where both parties contribute equally, share responsibilities, and show respect for each other's emotions. When you hurt a Libra, it disrupts the delicate equilibrium they've worked hard to establish. The imbalance can leave them feeling unappreciated, misunderstood, or emotionally drained. They may not immediately express their feelings, but the internal unrest will be palpable. If they can't restore balance to the relationship, they may start pulling away, becoming distant or disengaged. Their desire for fairness and peace means they won't tolerate an unequal dynamic for long. If you hurt a Libra, the damage is not just emotional, it's a disruption of their entire sense of relational harmony. Until they feel that balance has been restored, they'll remain emotionally unsettled. 10. They will seek justice. Justice is at the core of a Libra's identity. Ruled by Venus, the planet of fairness, they have an innate sense of right and wrong. Libras can't stand when they or others are treated unfairly, and they will go to great lengths to ensure that justice is served. When they are hurt, especially if they feel wronged, their instinct is to seek retribution or a form of resolution that makes things right. They won't let injustices slide easily, and if they believe they've been mistreated, they'll pursue justice with their characteristic determination. If you've hurt a Libra, expect them to want an explanation. They'll want to know why it happened, what led to the pain, and how things can be made right. For a Libra, it's not just about moving past the situation, it's about ensuring that the wrong is acknowledged and addressed. They don't just want an apology, they want a genuine understanding and effort to make amends. If the situation feels unresolved or unjust, a Libra will carry that emotional weight with them, and it may create a rift that's hard to bridge. They value fairness too much to let things go without closure. 11. They will try to fix the situation. Libras are natural problem solvers. When they sense something is wrong, their instinct is to fix it. They'll look for solutions, attempt to mediate, and find ways to restore peace and balance. Even if it means taking on some of the emotional burden themselves, they will do what they can to repair the situation. If they care about you and value the relationship, they will do everything in their power to smooth things over and make things right. However, this desire to fix things can sometimes be to their detriment. They may put their own feelings aside to address the needs of others, trying to ensure that everyone is happy and content. If they've been hurt, this trait can manifest as them trying to minimize the conflict, glossing over their own hurt in favor of making peace. But if a Libra repeatedly finds themselves in situations where they're the one doing all the fixing without receiving the same effort in return, the emotional toll can be overwhelming. They will work hard to restore balance, but if they're continually dismissed or unappreciated, they'll eventually stop trying, and the relationship may suffer irreparably. 12. They will protect their peace. One of the most powerful traits of a Libra is their need for peace. While they are social, engaging, and often the life of the party, they value their emotional and mental peace above all else. Libras have a natural ability to balance the chaos of life, but if you hurt them, they won't hesitate to protect their peace at all costs. They may retreat into themselves, creating space between you and them to preserve their emotional well-being. Libras understand the importance of protecting their inner world from negativity, and if they feel that the environment around them has become toxic, they will take action to shield themselves. If you've hurt a Libra, they will likely withdraw emotionally or physically to regain their balance. They'll seek solitude or time away from the situation to clear their minds and reset. This emotional retreat is their way of guarding their peace and ensuring they can heal. While they might not confront the issue immediately, their need to restore emotional equilibrium will be their priority. They won't engage in drama or prolong conflict, they'll simply create the space they need to restore their sense of tranquility. If you respect this space, they may return to the relationship when they've healed, but if the hurt continues, they might decide that their peace is worth more than maintaining a connection that disrupts it. In conclusion, Libras are more than just charming and graceful individuals, they are deeply sensitive beings who require balance, fairness, and emotional peace in their lives. While they may seem calm and collected on the surface, their emotional depth and need for harmony make them vulnerable to hurt. When you cross a Libra, it's not just about a fleeting disagreement, it's about disrupting the delicate balance they work so hard to maintain. If you've hurt a Libra, be prepared for them to withdraw, seek justice, and protect their peace. Their ability to remain composed doesn't mean they forget the pain, they process it in their own time, seeking resolution and fairness. If you value your relationship with a Libra, respect their need for balance, integrity, and peace. Betray their trust, and it can take years to rebuild what you've broken. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights into Zodiac personalities. Let us know in the comments how Libras have impacted your life, how have they made a difference, or perhaps hurt you. We'd love to hear your stories and experiences.